so we get to probably lying, like, but I reckon they're getting enough anyway.
Well, it's a matter of opinion as to whether it's enough. If you can get more, would you turn it down?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, no, what does that mean?
No,
would you
what
turn
I'm
it down?
trying to
It's a simple question. If you could get more, would you turn it down?
No.
Well, they think they can get more.
Yeah, but...
So they're fighting for it.
What I'm trying to say, right, is people are getting £24 a week on the dole, right?
So are you suggesting that everybody on £24.95 should be happy with their lot?
No.
OK, do you think it should be £25.95?
Oh, well, I reckon it should be more...
Well, just a minute. How much more than the dole have you got to get before you think you lose
the dole, right? It's people, it's the teachers to getting too much.
Listen to the question. I'll decide what words go in the question. It's my question. What figure do you think should be the wage at which you cease to be able to claim more?
Say about 40.
40 quid. Everyone over 40 quid should do what they're told.
No.
I'm sorry, that's what I asked you. You seem to have changed your mind. You answered the question, now you're withdrawing your answer, are you?
No.
You're not withdrawing your answer.
What I'm trying to say...
I'll ask you the question again. I'll ask you the question again. This time, try to answer it in the view that you hold, rather than one that you think sounds pretty.
Go on, then.
Because it doesn't sound as pretty as you, I promise you. Here we go. Here's the question.
Okay.
What figure per week do you think should be the wage at which no one is allowed to go on strike for more?
180.
180?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a good wage.
So if somebody's on 179, they should be entitled to strike, but only for a pound.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that,
I'm sorry, you did say that.
No, I'm not.
You may well not have meant to say that, and I realise you've got difficulties because you're a Scouser, but you did say that.
Yeah,
now, let me ask you the question again. At what figure do you feel it should become illegal for you to go on strike? What figure? What figure?
What figure?
So far, you've told us 46, then you told us 180. What do you want it to be now?
To go on strike?
Yes. Before it becomes illegal for you to go on strike.
90. £90 to go on strike.
So if somebody is getting £89.99, they're entitled to go on strike?
Yeah.
For a penny?
No.
Oh, well, anything beyond that, of course, if they get tuppence, they'll be breaking the law.
What I'm trying to say...
You have been Beswicked.
He was a drink on a stick, wasn't he? Anyway, it's very nearly 11 o'clock, so we're not going to talk to anyone, particularly Joe or Robin, who are our next two callers. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome. Round about 11:30 this evening, we'll be talking to Pete Hughes. Indeed, you'll be able to talk to Pete Hughes on the phone-in. He bought a lump of this programme. He must be puddled.
The 11 o'clock news, this is Alan King. International economists are putting a dampener on the celebrations by Mrs Thatcher's government over the fall in unemployment below 3 million. The economists from the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development say inflation is likely to rise, growth will slow down, and there could be problems with the balance of trade. Here's our financial editor, Douglas Moffat.
The report comes the same day the latest figures painted a rosy picture of a booming economy. Output up to a new all-time record, and unemployment showing a record monthly fall down below 3 million. The OECD are only highlighting what many outside analysts believe to be the major dangers in the government's current economic strategy. Continuing high pay rises will start forcing inflation up again and erode Britain's international competitiveness, posing a threat to the Chancellor's forecast of continuing economic growth, and thus his hopes of continuing falls in unemployment.
The chairman of newly privatised British Airways is urging Mrs Thatcher to turn over to private enterprise part of the education and national health services. Lord King says free schooling and medical care are sacrosanct, but the taxpayer must have better value for money. 3 teenagers, including a 14-year-old girl, are being questioned by police in Cumbria after another youth was killed by a rifle shot. Julie Hunt reports.
The girl and 2 other teenage boys panicked when the gun went off at a house in Wigton. They dragged the body of the 18-year-old along the street in broad daylight towards a nearby park and then ran off. Shortly afterwards, the youngsters gave themselves up and were taken 10 miles to a police station in Carlisle for questioning. The dead youth, who hasn't been named, is thought to come from Carlisle. Julie Hunt, IRN, Cumbria.
An American writer living in London has become the latest kidnapped victim in Lebanon. American Charles Glass was snatched by gunmen in West Beirut, along with the son of the country's defense minister. An experienced Middle East journalist, he'd returned to the Lebanon to research a book. His British wife, Fiona, says she's hoping his many friends in the Middle East can help to get him back.
He loves the place. He loves the Lebanese people. He's very concerned about the country. I wouldn't say he was frightened, but he was always cautious, as he knew what the risks were.
A baby driven off by a car thief who snatched her parents' vehicle has been found safe and well. The car was stolen from a Devon village and found abandoned, with the child still sleeping inside, 40 miles away in Yeovil. The sound of silence has descended on Hollywood studios, where a pay strike has gagged the Flintstones, Popeye, and other favourite cartoon characters. Members of the Screen Actors Guild, who provide the voices for the funnies, say it's unfair that they're being asked to do 3 different voices a day for just one fee. The strike has brought some unusual characters out onto the picket line.
Barney, this ain't very good, is it? However, if we win, it'll be yabba-dabba-doo time.
Independent Radio News.
And Gilmore sounds more like Fred Flintstone than that bloke did.
Hello, Sally Moon here, asking you to join me at Savoy Garage Blackburn for Sally on Saturday this weekend. We'll be helping them to celebrate the launch of the brand new Peugeot 309 GTI, so there'll be lots of goodies to give away, and for everyone who buys a new car on the day, they'll get a 14-inch colour TV too. The roadshow will be there between 11 and 4, and I'll be live between 12 and 2. And that's not all. If you come and see us on the day, you'll be helping the Telegraph scanner appeal too. All we ask is a donation on the door. So that's this Saturday from Savoy Garage, Whalley New Road in Blackburn.
I bless the day I found you.
The Everly Brothers. After more than 10 years apart, they're back together again, in concert. The Everly Brothers Reunion Concert. Teledisc are proud to bring you the Everly Brothers Reunion Concert. A triple album box set of their greatest hits, including Cathy's Clown, Walk Right Back, The Price of Love, and more. 2 hours of the sweetest voices on earth, recorded live in London's Royal Albert Hall and digitally mastered for the best quality sound. The Everly Brothers Reunion Concert, 33 songs you'll remember forever, including 5 never-before-released tracks. A very special evening captured live on 3 records or 2 cassettes. Yours for $14.99, including postage and packing. Only from Teledisc and not in any shops.
I'll do my crying in the rain to take a lot of pain.
Order now, and we'll also send you a souvenir photo program guide. To order, call us on 051 708 7676. That number again, 051 708 7676.
Ring him if you dare.
Allan Beswick, the late night show.
And it's just after 5 minutes past 11. If you want to join us on the phone in, the telephone number is Preston 561,000.
You know what's best. Red Rose Radio.
How do Joe?
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
I'm after a bit of advice, please.
Go ahead.
Well, I was in my mate's the other day, and a fly landed on a beam.
Excuse me. In your mate's what?
House.
Very good.
Yes. Bit of a critic, you aren't you, though? Got to say.
Well, I don't know that I'm a critic, but when one makes an incomplete statement, I always attempt to discover what information it is they have left out.
Oh, I see.
I'm sometimes critical, but I'm not really a critic.
Sorry for the hindrance, then.
It wasn't a hindrance. It makes the programme flow along, and that's all I'm here for, to get the money. The sooner 2 o'clock comes round, the better.
Yeah, well, I was in my friend's house,
Yeah.
and a fly landed on one of his beans.
Was it a new bean, or was it a has-been?
Comedian. It was a
No, not at all. You'd have laughed if it had been a comedian.
It was a baked bean.
A baked bean.
And injected
Was it fully baked?
Yeah, it was out.
It wasn't half-baked.
It was out of the pan.
It was out of the pan. You don't keep flies in a pan.
No, the bean.
Keep them on trousers.
The bean.
The bean? What bean?
The bean that was on the plate.
Just the one?
Yeah.
It's true what they say about Scousers. They are all How do Robin?
Hi, Alan.
Hello.
Right, this Scouse, I went for a job interview.
I don't want any jokes.
Oh, why not?
Don't like them. Won't be funny anyway. Nothing's ever as funny as those jokes that I do.
Why wrestle with a 23-foot crocodile while trying to drink a pint of Thwaites bitter? It's a question a lot of the regulars in here have often asked. The answer lies partly in my lifelong fascination with reptiles and amphibians, but it's also because I like a pint with a bitter snap.
Thwaites bitter, when you know what's what.
The George Makinson Summer Sale must end this Sunday with thousands of cut-price bargains. 10% discount on all paint and wallpaper. Showers massacred to $9.99. Internal doors from £14.99. The Qualcast Concord Mer just £59.50. Kitchens from £200. Bedrooms from £199. Plus coloured bathroom suites £240. Hurry to George Makinson Summer Sale before all the bargains are sold. At Mary Lane, Wigan, opposite Wigan Pier. Open 8 till 8, Monday to Friday, 9 till 7 Saturday. Sundays 10 till 4.
This is it. You are the best place to go. The Coach House Diner is the one you'll want to know. Yeah, this is it.
Bring the family to eat at the Coach House Diner in Lytham. We're open from 5:30 in the afternoon, lunchtime from 11:30, all day, Saturday and Sunday, with superb menus, including a special one just for the kids. The Coach House Diner, opposite the Green on Henry Street, Lytham.
The Coach House Diner, this is it.
Austin Rover means hay houses. Hay houses means independent. Independent means caring. And caring means hay houses. For Austin Rover, look local and deal direct with a company that cares. Hay houses. Motoring on the Fylde. Alexandria Drive, St Anne's.
Drivers for 2-star petrol at only £149.9 come over to Telegraph. No free gifts, just miles more value. At Preston Road, Chorley, half a mile from Junction 8 off the M61.
Britain's biggest electrical store comes to Blackpool with the biggest savings you ever heard. The new Comet at Holyoke Avenue, Blackpool is now open, giving you so much more than any other store. You get more choice with all your favourite names. More credit with a Comet card. Ask for details. More cover with everything guaranteed for a year free. And you can extend the guarantee to 5 years. And more deals!
I'll do Steve.
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk about political opinion polls, please.
Go on.
I believe these polls that you were pumped out at us as a heck of a bait before the election are very misleading to the public, and I believe because the party they wish to vote for is at the bottom of the poll, I believe they switch their vote to the party at the top because you believe the party at the bottom can't win. And I think they
Did you do that?
No, I didn't, no. I didn't.
What party would you have voted for?
I voted Conservative.
You voted Conservative?
Yes.
Had Conservative been at the bottom of the pile, would you have switched your vote?
No, I wouldn't.
Had it been in the middle, would you have switched your vote?
No, I wouldn't.
If it was at the top, would you switch your vote?
No.
Why do you think other people would?
Because I believe the other parties they believe...
We're not interested in the other parties. You have suggested that individuals in our community are not quite as concerned about their political beliefs as you, and that they can be swayed rather than by the argument and the policies, but by where a particular party is in the opinion polls. You can't be, but then you're a Tory, so you're bound to be very, 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 very clever, aren't you?
Oh, very funny, yeah.
Well, that's the implication you're giving. It's not my fault you're patronising the whole of humanity.
I just believe people, across the parties...
Well, are you not a people? Are you not in this collective term? Can you not be considered to be part of this collective term people?
Yes, of course I am.
Well, you don't do it.
No.
No. Would you like to tell me how many people you are aware of that do it? You are aware of, not your supposition.
I am aware of some people that did do
I asked you how many?
2.
2. How many people do you think voted in the last election?
Well, I think it was 43 million who could.
How many people do you know that did vote in the last election?
Oh, good.
About?
Good 30, 40.
A good 30 or 40?
Yes.
So let's take it 35, mean average, yeah?
Okay.
2 of which switched their vote as a result of opinion polls.
Yes.
We'd like to work that out as a percentage for me. You work out about 2/3%, I think.
Yeah, that's...
Sadly worth getting your knickers off for, is it?
That's only the people I know.
Well,
I can't speak for everybody, can I?
You have made your judgment either on the people you know from experience. You've made your judgment, or you're guessing. Which is it? Are you guessing? Are you telling me?
No, I'm not guessing.
Oh, so you're telling me that your opinion is based on this knowledge you have?
It's
that
partly
1/3% of the population will change their
partly
vote.
people I know and what I've seen on the television.
Oh, so it's not people you know, it is people on the television. How many people do you know on the television that voted?
None as far as I know.
None as far as you're aware. Well, that's knackered that, hasn't it? Goodbye. How do Tony?
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk about people drinking and driving.
Then do so.
You know, if somebody drinks and drives and kills someone in a crash, I think they should be put up for murder.
Well, they've not committed murder. They'd be found not guilty.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like junkie.
Well, what it's like and what it is are irrelevant. They would be found not guilty.
But it's like
What does the crime of murder require?
somebody stabbing someone or whatever, shooting someone with a gun.
That's an excellently specific and explicit definition. I'm sure all the judges in the land are sorry they didn't think of it. Have you ever considered that it might be that they've got to pre-plan it?
Yeah, but there's
For
other
it to be
types of murder.
No, there aren't other types of murder. There's only one kind of murder, and that is a pre-planned event.
If someone takes drugs and they go and stab someone to death, they'll be trial for murder.
They may well be tried for murder if they stab someone to death, yes. And if someone takes drink and stabs someone to death, they also will be charged for murder. If somebody takes drugs and happens to run somebody over in their car, they won't be charged with murder.
Well, I think they should be, Alan.
But they'll be found not guilty, so what would be the point? Charge them with what you like, find them not guilty, let them go. Is that what you want? You want them all to wander the streets, to do it again? Surely you want them convicted.
I think you're wrong, Alan.
Are you telling me they would be convicted? You try a person for murder, and you cannot prove that it was his intent.
Broadbents and Boothroyds of Southport great summer sale starts this Friday, June the 19th at 9 a.m. There's a whole host of savings for everyone, but hurry! With sale prices like ours, they won't last long. So, come to Broadbents and Boothroyds of Southport this Friday and pick up your sale bargain.
It's the time that you take. It's a coat, it's a break, it's a pause in the beat, a cool from the heat. Ah, just what I need. It's a hit, Coca-Cola is it. It's put them on hold. That Coke is ice cold. It's let the train wait. Don't care if I'm late. It's just how you feel. It's the break that's for real. It's a kick, it's a hit, it's a go. It's a kick, it's a hit, it's a Coke. Coca-Cola is it.
How do Mark?
How do, Alan? May I talk about charity records, please?
Yeah.
I don't believe that charity records, such as Band-Aid or whatever, should be allowed into the charts.
Why not?
Because other bands are trying to get to #1 or whatever, and it's jeopardising their chances.
What are the charts?
The record charts.
Yes, I know what they are in terms of what the definition covers, but what is it a measurement of?
Of how many records are sold?
Well, why can they not be allowed in the charts if they've sold the records?
Well, they shouldn't, should they? Cause,
Well, they shouldn't sell the records. We should not buy them.
No,
they should give them away.
No, they shouldn't give them away. If people want to buy them, then that's fair enough. I think they're good, you know. But,
Well, if we're going to have a yardstick, if you like, a chart, a scale, a measurement of how many records are sold, then why should we disbar records that have been sold? It sounds a bit stupid to me.
well, they're rubbish, aren't they, to start with?
Well, 40 million people could easily be wrong, but I doubt it.
Well,
I mean, if you're saying that only rubbish records get to the top, then perhaps this band that you're getting paranoid about should stop being so talented and start selling records.
No.
Maybe they're not quite as talented as you thought. Maybe they're actually crap. Maybe they'll never get a record contract as long as they're putting holes in the middle of records.
No,
Maybe that's what it is. And we'll all keep going out and buy the rubbish we buy. Do you not think the public have got the right to choose what they want to buy? Or do you think they should buy what jerks like you think they should buy? No. So you think they have the free... So we've established that they should buy what they want to buy.
Yeah.
We've established that. So whether they're rubbish or good by your definition is, except when you're buying, irrelevant.
No.
No, it's not irrelevant. So as far as you're concerned, you do want to tell people what they should buy.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, we've established we don't. Well, let us try again. Whether you like the records that are bought in their millions or not is not at all important, is it?
No.
No. So all that matters for the chart is how many records of a particular song and artiste have been sold, correct?
Yep.
So if they've been sold by Band-Aid and they've sold 300 million and your group sold 4, you think they should be banned from the chart and you should be put at 9,497,000.
No,
Yes?
that's not
You're a
what I'm
prat.
saying.
Goodbye. How do, Fred?
Hello. The woman that phoned up last Wednesday that said she'd been raped, I think she's one of the bravest persons I've ever heard.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
I learnt a lot by the way you spoke to her, and if it's true, as she said, that there was no female doctor on duty that night, then I think it's a disgrace. And if the police can't get that in order, then they really ought to try a little
Well,
harder.
to be perfectly honest, the police have gone a long way to change that, but there's no way round it. There are an awful lot more male doctors than female. And there are certain areas where female doctors are just not available, or where there's only one who requires to go on holiday and the like. So I don't think you ought to condemn the police entirely out of hand. They may well not have been able to get a female doctor at that time.
I thought the number of female doctors was increasing, and it was almost
It is
as many.
increasing. No, it isn't almost as many, but it is increasing. But even so, it may well have been that a female doctor was not available. They don't all want to do that kind of work.
Do they have them in the police station, or do they have them in hospitals?
They try not to do it in the police station, and they're trying... In large conurbations, like London, they have separate units. I think there are 3 or 4 of them, where they take the alleged victim, because we must call it an alleged victim until proven, but we'll say victim. We take the victim to this centre, where they can be examined in a plush, comfortable surrounding, not dissimilar to a hotel room. But of course, in Lancashire, that wouldn't be productive, because you don't get a lot of rapes in Lancashire. You get 1 is too many. But it would be unacceptable for a person who is raped, for example, in Burnley, to be driven to Preston for their medical. So you need large conurbations, large numbers of people, and a lot of rape cases to make it worthwhile in terms of straightforward, sensible economy to have those centres. So generally, they try to do it in hospitals, if they can. Occasionally, it always used to be done in the police stations, but now not anymore. They don't do it in police stations, and it's not an inverted commas ordinary police surgeon. There is now a very good system of examining rape victims. It is so good that one of the reasons the statistics of rape has increased isn't because more people are getting raped, but because more people are actually coming forward and saying they've been raped. Because more people are prepared to go through with the system, or go through the system, because the system is less horrendous than it was. Obviously, it's still horrendous for someone who is so distraught.
The impression I got was that it was done in the police station. I was going to suggest that they be able to be taken to a hospital if need be.
Well, that is the perfect suggestion, because that is what happens. They try not to do it in the police station.
I think it was a shame that you had to suggest that she phoned in Manchester, which I think she's probably in the Preston area, and there really ought to be a centre in the Preston area.
The answer is neither you nor me can do anything about setting one up, because the one thing they insist on at rape crisis centres is that all their staff are men. I'm told by Rod next door that there's one in Heysham. That lady was. I see.
You said all the staff is men?
Sorry, female. Somebody spoke to me as I said that. Actually.
That's fair enough.
All the staff are female. They do not allow males into rape crisis centres at all.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
Although I believe they have some experiments in the USA where they try to bring sympathetic males in fairly early, so that the woman doesn't have any long-term animosity to men in general.
Yes, but they don't allow them to do the counselling. I tried to become a counsellor for a rape crisis centre in Newcastle upon Tyne, and was rejected out of hand because they said you're a bloke, and that's the end of it. No matter how good or bad you might be, you're out of it. You're a bloke, and that's fair enough.
Yeah, I think so too. I think most men, as I hope I would be sickened if it happened to anyone that was close to me. I think the news...
I'm sickened when it happens to strangers.
Yeah, well, same here. I know women. Some women say that a man can't imagine how it is to be raped, and probably we can't. But there is such a thing as homosexual rape, I believe. And I can imagine that happening, and it's not a very nice thought.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks very much. Ta-ra. We'll be talking to Joe fairly shortly. I promised a little earlier when we had the 7-Up people on our premises, wandering around doing 7-Up jokes, all about Snow White and various other people. I promised I'd say hello to Ray Dean from Sandra. I'm told to tell you that she loves you very much, but it was me she kissed, pal. And that's from... He's working at Cross International, which I was reliably informed is in Kirby, but I've since had an apology and said it's not in Kirby at all, it's in Knowsley. Perhaps it's because you're a gorilla in Safari Park. Allan, there's 2 of them, you see. Curly something, we don't know what. Jim, an apology to all the names she forgot. But that's Ray Dean, Sandra loves you. And you've got to work right through the night now with all them men laughing at you.
Allan Beswick. Lindo's the Jewellers of Ulverston invite you to view their superb range of wedding and engagement rings. Browse through their gold and silver jewellery department and see their fine selection of necklaces and bracelets and much more. There are watches from £5 up to the world-famous Jaeger range, alarm clocks to grandfather clocks, fine quality English crystal, silverware and bone china ornaments. Remember the name Lindo's for a super choice of holiday gift ideas. Look in at Lindo's of Market Street, Ulverston.
This Saturday from 9 till 12, the chart of Lancashire's favourites will be played on Lancashire's favourite station, the Red Rose Top 40 on Red Rose Radio, in association with Red Rose Kitchens of Morebrook Street, Preston, manufacturers of quality-fitted kitchens and the #1 kitchen for your home. The chart is compiled by computer every week from sales throughout the Northwest. Catch the Top 40 this Saturday at 9 a.m. and discover which song's been made #1 by you.
Red Rose Kitchens, always the #1 for your home.
The Red Rose Advertiser!
It's all in your advertiser this week. Clive Lloyd starts his new column. There are features on Pamela Stevenson and Norman Wisdom, our new Girl Talk column, and of course, Beswick. There'll be picture specials on the half marathon and charity auction.
The Red Rose Advertiser!
This week, find out why a Preston professor says astrology is a load of codswallop. If you live in Preston or South Ribble, the advertiser will be dropping through your door.
The Red Rose Advertiser!
But if you don't get one dropping through your door because you're outside the area or whatever other reason, come along to Red Rose Radio anytime you like between, I think it's about 10 and 4, office hours anyway, Monday to Friday. Nip in here, we've got them on reception. You can have one free gratis and for now. Nip in and get one. How do Joe? Joe's gone and we're well shut. How do Nige?
Hello, Mr. Beswick.
Hello, Nige.
May I talk about angling?
Yes.
Well, I think angling isn't cruel.
Why?
Well, it isn't. I reckon it's a very good sport.
Good, bad is irrelevant. We want to know why you think it isn't cruel.
Well,
you don't seem to know.
I've heard you saying that...
What I think really doesn't matter. I asked you to tell me why you think it isn't cruel. Are you stupid? Are you as deaf as a fish as well?
Yeah.
Good. You also have the intellect of a fish. How do Mark?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
I'd like to talk about boxing, please.
Go ahead.
I think it should be banned.
Why?
I'm sorry, I think it shouldn't be banned.
Well, if you can't make your mind up, there's not really much point in conversing with me, is there? Goodbye, you cretin. How do George?
Hello. I'd like to complain about horses getting use of mountains while mountain bikers are denied the same accesses.
Horses are perfectly natural things. What are mountain bikers?
Well, it's people who go on special bicycles riding up and down mountains.
Special bicycles? What's special about them?
Well, they're very strong and they've got about 18 gears.
Pedal cycles, are they?
Yeah.
Why should you be allowed?
Because horses are allowed and they do a lot more damage to the paths.
But they don't have pedals.
No, but they've got great big steel hooves on them.
Not necessarily. Sometimes they have iron ones, ironed onto them.
Well, it's the same sort of thing.
It's not the same sort of thing at
Well,
all.
it does just as much damage.
Well, I would say to you that it doesn't do as much damage as a great clumping lout on a bike.
I'm saying it does.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, if bicycle's got rubber tyres, I mean, what damage does rubber do on grass? I mean, hardly any. But
hardly
the
any.
horses' hooves rip the whole place up.
But, you see, the world is for creatures, not machines.
Yeah, but it's a creature on the machine.
Well, yes, there's a creature on the machine. That's like saying we should allow Maserati sports cars there as well, because there's a creature in that. We should allow road rollers and bulldozers.
Yeah,
because
but
there's creatures in
they
them.
cause pollution, and
Well,
they wouldn't be up to it
it doesn't
anyway.
really matter whether they cause pollution or not. I'm telling you that the hills and the mountains are for creatures, not for prats on bicycles. When I'm out walking, I'm perfectly happy to meet a horse, with or without rider, coming to the way. But if some gormless prat with his shaved legs comes by, I think, what a gormless prat. Why am I out here with that divvy on the road?
Don't shave your legs.
Cyclists do.
Not mountain bikers.
Why not?
Because it's pointless.
Why is it pointless?
Well, you've got great big wide handlebars. The air resistance wouldn't be reduced significantly enough for it to be worth it.
Oh, well, you've obviously considered it. Tell me about considering shaving your legs.
Well, I haven't.
But
I mean, you'd look too
considered
much
it.
of a prat the rest of the time.
Well, I've already told you look a prat on a bike.
Rubbish.
Well, you keep
Just
saying
because you
rubbish.
don't go around polluting the
all
atmosphere and
I
killing
can
people.
say to you, George, is the only argument you ever put up against these statements I make to you is rubbish. How do, Paul? Come on, Paul, I haven't got all night.
Hello, Alan.
Goodbye, I'm not waiting for you. How do, Lee?
How do, Mr. Beswick? I'd like to talk about Ozzy Osbourne and the bad reputation he's got.
But he's worked very hard to get.
I don't think it's right, though, because he don't
You
really
don't think
do no
what's
wrong.
right? You don't think what is right?
The things people talk about him.
Well, tell me some of the things that people talk about
Well,
him.
they say he's a madman.
Well, that's about right, that sums it up.
He isn't, really. He's,
What do you mean he isn't really? He isn't really means he is.
well,
Do you think it's particularly clever to bite the heads off live chickens?
it was bad, really.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll rephrase the question. Do you think it's clever to bite the head off bats?
Well,
It's a
he
simple
never did it on purpose.
Oh, he actually, did he fall on it?
No,
The fellow, did it fly into his mouth? I'm told they're blind.
no, he used to bite rubber heads off them.
What do you mean it was an accident?
Well, someone chucked a live one on, a dead one, man.
A live
dead
one?
bat.
Yes.
A dead bat on, and he thought it were a rubber one, and he bit its head off.
And that's his argument, is it?
Yeah, I'm just saying he ain't mad.
I'm sorry, I tend not to agree with you. And to be perfectly frank, neither does he. Have you got a Red Rose advertiser?
No,
Get one. There's an interview with him this week.
I don't live in Preston, though.
Well, flit. Well, you seem
what
to have
does
run
it
out
say
of
about
things
him,
that... Well, get the paper and read it.
Well, what do you think about him?
I think he's a prat.
Yeah. Are you moving to Bolton?
What's that got to do with it?
No, really.
Quite. Mental pygmy. How do, Adam?
Hello, I wanted to come back on a call a few minutes ago about opinion polls.
Go ahead.
You said that it was 2/3% that chap was quoting, but it's not, it was 6%.
No, fair enough.
Which
Still
is
not
two-
very many.
Yeah, which is 2.5 million people.
Still not a lot.
That's a hell of a lot of people.
Still not a lot.
It's enough to make a big difference
It's
in the number of
2%.
voters.
Well, of course it's enough to make a difference, but does it matter?
Yes, I mean, 2.5
What are you
million-
suggesting? If these people who haven't the wit to make up their own mind didn't have the opinion polls to foist and, what can we say, only an erroneous opinion upon them, what opinion do you think they would form?
Yeah,
What
but
would they use?
If opinion polls can be so influential in people's decisions...
Well, they're not that influential. They're only affecting 2%.
2.5 million people, though.
2%.
No, it's... you said...
2%.
That chap before, he
Oh,
said...
6%. Sorry, 6%.
Yeah, 6%.
6%, yeah.
It's 2.5 million people.
Go on.
Right, if they can affect that many people by what they say...
Well, it's not a matter of how many people you affect, is it? It's what the percentages of the whole. If you affected 2.5 million people in China, it made no damn difference at all. There were that many born this morning.
Well, I mean, as far as
So
I'm...
it rather depends on the population, and we've already established that the figure is 6%. Now, it's going to affect 6% of the population.
I think...
That means it's not going to affect 94%. That seems quite a good record for me. Well, are you suggesting that we should stop all forms of political broadcast?
No,
Because they
I'm-
affect people.
I'm just saying that 6% is,
that affect-
is fairly large in these sort of circumstances.
No, it's not. It's only 600.
It is.
It's only 600. It's no more than that.
Well, I think in a matter of
6% is only ever 6/100ths.
It's 6%.
Less than a tenth.
Where majority...
Only a bit more, only a tidgy-widgy bit more than a 20th.
In certain constituencies, a majority was gained by over...
Can we,
just
Estella,
200... Hang on.
let me try to discover what you think these people would use to make up their mind when we remove this system. What would they use?
So, I mean, that's
We've obviously established that they're half-wits. They haven't got the ability to make up their own opinion.
Yeah.
So, what would they use? What other erroneous method would they find?
Well, I just think...
What other erroneous method would they find?
They'd have to make their own minds up.
Well, they've already made their own minds up. It's only you that's whinging.
Well,
and the other goneless prat that was on before. They're the only people that are whinging. The people that have made up their mind, I put to you, are entitled to make their mind up on whatever decision, on whatever process they like. If they vote for a guy or a woman because he or she is wearing a red tie, or a green tie, or has grey hair, it really doesn't matter.
Well, it matters when...
It doesn't matter because you can't stop it, Pratt. What are you going to do, ban 'em? You don't have to vote for anyone with grey hair.
Thank you very much.
Don't be a cretin. I'll do to nobody other than this chap sat opposite me who's called Pete Hughes. I'll do to you. Well, speak then. They won't know what you're doing. Yeah, we'll have it. Go on, Benny. Pete Hughes, how much did you pay for a go at this programme?
Oh, £160, hard-earned money.
You're a taxi proprietor. You don't earn your money. They come running around and giving it to you.
No, we've got to work really hard for our money. It's not an easy game at all.
Garbage. Sitting there driving a car, aren't it? Bobby's job.
It's not as simple as you think.
I've done it.
Well, I mean...
It's a doddle.
Very hard work.
Couple of phone calls, drive around the house, you don't even load the bags for it, you don't even get out the damn cars now.
Oh.
You get to the bottom of the street, go beep, 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 get all the pigging neighbours up.
460's taxis have a reputation second to none.
Hey, where are they then?
They're all over the place tonight.
Right, but where?
Working hard, picking good people
But
up.
where? They're not all over the damn county, are they?
They're all over my area.
Well, tell us where it is. What's the point of advertising when people are ringing up 460's taxis?
All around the Chorley area.
Chorley, right, we've cracked it. Chorley. So
Chorley
that's
area, yeah.
That's where you're
are.
based.
Yep.
And are you from Chorley?
I'm from Chorley, Allan, yep.
Never mind. Can't win them all, can you, really?
Well, it's a good
Somebody's got
little
to
place.
be born there. It's all right, it's got a nice market. I used to go there on the buses.
Yeah, it's a good little place, it's Chorley.
Anyway, if you want to talk to Pete Hughes for the next few moments at least, we don't know how long, because we never know how long these things go on. If you want to talk to Pete Hughes, the lines are open, Preston 561,000. Everyone that rings from now on, indeed everyone that gets through from now on until we say otherwise, will not be talking to Beswick, but we'll be talking to Pete Hughes, and he knows all about taxis. You could get your own back, couldn't you, really? There's all them times they didn't arrive, or you were left standing waiting, or they overcharged you, or the dirty cars, the buckled wheels, the smoking in the cabs. I can think of about a thousand things to discuss with him, but it's not for me to discuss with him, it's for you. Preston 561,000.
Ah, this is the life. A bargain holiday thanks to the late booking desk at National Travel World. Oh, we saved ourselves a fortune.
Not only that, but they gave us a microwave for only £79. I could have had 10% discount off any item over £100 at Centro, but I'd rather have the microwave.
Oh, so that's why you're reading a cookery book now, is it? Well, you won't be doing any cooking for another 2 weeks. We're on holiday.
Oh, yes, I will. I brought the microwave with us.
If you want a last-minute bargain holiday plus a microwave for only £79, book before the 30th of June at National Travel World's late booking desk.
A far, far better furniture store.
Edmondson's of Blackburn, a far, far better furniture store. For lounge, dining room and bedroom furniture. For famous names in quality carpets. For all home furnishings. Edmondson's offers choice. Edmondson's gives first-class service. And Edmondson's guarantees value for money. All round a far, far better furniture store. At Darwin Street, Blackburn.
A far, far better furniture store. Edmondson's.
You've been wanting to do it for a long time. Too long. But then you've had your wallet to think about. One false move and it would never feel the same toward you again. Now, at last, the waiting's over. Because International have low finance from only 2.5% on the whole Fiesta range. Written details on request from International Ford, Broughton, Preston. For a full and lasting relationship with your wallet.
You'll be buying a car that's better by far at International Ford. Ashton Domestic.
Whatever you're looking for in electrical appliances, look no further than Ashton Domestics. That's where you'll get up to £40 trade-in on your old freezer, £80 trade-in on your old cooker if you buy Belling, £50 trade-in on your old washing machine. And listen to these great names: Hotpoint, Zanussi, Creda, Hoover, Bendix, Tricity, all at great prices from Ashton Domestics, Blackpool Road, Preston. Call 726 416.
And it's hello to Liam.
Hello.
What's your question, Liam?
Not a question, just a statement. That hypocrite you have with you on the Red Rose advertiser.
Thank you very much. And now on to Sean.
Pardon?
Carry on.
Okay. The guy has talked about double glazing in the past and would only endorse those salesmen that don't knock on doors and invade your privacy, right? That is a fact. Gone on record many times.
Hang on, I think I better deal with this one. We'll come back to you in a sec, Pete. Go on.
Why?
Why what?
Who am I talking to?
Beswick.
Why am I not talking to Pete?
Because you want to talk about me.
No, talking to Pete. He's got his minute, hasn't he?
You're talking to me.
No, I want to talk to the guy I'm talking to. You've given me a spot for 160 quid, come on.
Liam.
Give me a fair shot.
Liam, you got something to say about me, say it. Otherwise, get off.
Okay, kid, come on.
I'm not a kid, I'm 38 years of age. You got something to say about me, say it, or get off. I don't mind.
Depends on my age, all right, right.
You got a chance.
Okay, so you're going about
We know what you've said.
Yeah,
What's your next bit?
Right. So, what does a Red Rose advertiser do? Come through the door?
I don't put it through.
You don't put it through. You endorse it.
Would
you
you also-
endorse it.
Hold it.
You've put out adverts.
Don't lose your temper.
You've put out
Don't lose
adverts,
your
Alan.
temper.
You've put
Don't
out
lose
adverts
your
saying,
temper.
I am in that programme, I am in
lose
that
your
paper,
temper.
read
Don't lose
me,
your
look
temper.
at me in my
Don't lose your
photographs in it.
temper.
All right?
Don't lose your temper.
No, I'm not losing my
Now
temper.
then.
It's you that's trying to put it down.
Now then.
Okay.
Liam,
You're
Liam,
invading
do
my
listen.
privacy.
Liam, you have the right to your say. You've had your say. Do you want the answer or not? I'm not bothered either way.
I've never say yet, kid. Come on.
If you call me kid again, you'll be talking to yourself. Do you want the answer or don't you?
Give me the answer.
I'm asking you whether you want it.
I've just said, give me the answer.
No, that's a statement saying give you the answer. Do you want the answer or not?
What do you want, please?
Do you want the answer or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The answer is that I have no objections, never have had any objections, and have said on this programme many times that I have no objections to people putting leaflets or other free literature through my door. I do not like people who knock on my door. I do not knock on your door, nor does anybody else. When delivering your Red Rose advertiser, they put it through your door. I rest my case, you rest your voice. Good night, Pratt. It's back to you, Peter.
Hello, Sean.
I'll do. I hear you run a taxi firm.
That's right.
And I was wondering if you use lead-free petrol as far as pollution's concerned.
We don't, as it happens. If we can get hold of lead-free petrol, obviously we'd use it, but at this stage we don't go out of our way to get lead-free petrol.
So in the future, do you think you'll be trying to get round to it with it? Because, I mean, science has proved, hasn't it, that it's a lot more dangerous as far as brain damage and what have you.
Do you run a car yourself?
I don't actually run a car, no.
You don't run a car yourself?
No, not personally, no.
No. Do your friends run cars?
Yeah, I've got friends who run cars.
Do they all use lead-free petrol?
Well, they don't know at the moment, no.
No.
But
well,
I mean, if you can get them round to using it, it's obviously a lot better, isn't it?
Well, I think it can't be a bad idea, but as a commercial venture, if people will put out lead-free petrol at the right sort of price, I'd be only too keen to use it. But it's not only it's companies, taxi companies who use petrol. There's all sorts of people who use petrol, friends, relations, all sorts of companies. So we're just a small fry really in a big pan.
Yeah.
And I agree with the idea of lead-free petrol. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, that's smashing. I'd just like to say I thought you did very well there to pay all that money to come on.
Well, it's a good charity, is the Heartbeat Appeal. I'm only too pleased to, and obviously to speak to gentlemen like yourself.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Cheers, over to Paul.
How do?
How do?
Right, I'd like to talk about the murder this morning I heard on the Red Rose radio.
What about it?
In Accrington, was it? A man stabbed his wife to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, it said that he got life imprisonment. Now, I think that's wrong, for a start.
Well, why do you think that's wrong?
Well, I mean, all he's done is had an argument with his wife and stabbed her to death.
Yeah.
And he's getting the same imprisonment as people like Myra Hindley, who've done far worse crimes.
In what way?
Well, I mean, all he's done is stab his wife. I mean, he didn't rape her and tape it, did he? He's not sick.
Well, do you not think it's bad enough to stab your wife? Is that quite in order for you to do that? Is that your opinion?
Well, no, I'm not married, but if she drove me to, I'd probably stab her, yeah.
So anybody who wants to stab their wife now, it's in order, is it?
No, I didn't say that. I don't put words into my mouth.
Well, it seems that you're not condemning it because you're comparing it with something like the Myra Hindley situation.
No, I'm not. I am condemning the fact that he stabbed his wife. I mean, to stab anyone's terrible, but...
Well, you're now changing your mind. I mean, you're saying 1 minute that he shouldn't get life imprisonment because it's not as bad as the Myra Hindley situation.
Well, it isn't.
Yeah, but surely it's bad enough it's taking a life, isn't it?
Well, it's taking a life, but why should he shouldn't get life imprisonment?
Why not? You've taken a life. What about if it was your mother or your sister? How would you feel about it then?
Well, I have neither of them two, so...
Well, what about if it was your close friend, a female friend? Perhaps you'd feel a little more different about it. The fact that it's somebody you don't know, you can very easily compare it with something like Myra Hindley, but you have a situation where a life's been taken, surely.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of different types of murders. As, Allan Beswick said in the past about the types of murders that there are, like there's Peter Sutcliffe.
What sort of punishment do you reckon they should have if you murder your wife?
Well, murder your wife, I think a maximum of 10 years.
Is that because you're anti-female, because obviously you're not married?
No, I'm engaged.
Well, what about if somebody murdered their engaged girlfriend?
Fiancé is the word.
Thank you, fiancé.
Right. Well, I think they should get a maximum of 10 years.
So you're allowed to murder a female, or a wife, or a fiancé, and get away without life imprisonment?
Not just a woman, a man as well.
Well, it seems to me that you're allowing some life to be taken and to be given a simple sentence of 10 years.
Yeah.
You don't agree with a person being really penalised for what they've done.
Well, yeah.
You're letting them get away with murder for 10 years.
Well, they're not getting away with murder. They're getting 10 years for murder.
Well, they've stopped someone's life. Someone else no longer exists because they've killed them.
What do you suggest, that we end their life?
It doesn't matter what I suggest. Your question was...
I've not asked a question, I've made...
Well, your statement, I should say, was that you felt 10 years was sufficient and that life is too much for someone who's killed a wife. Well, I don't agree with you, obviously. And I don't think many people would agree with you.
Well, why not? What's your opinion on this, if you'd like to give it me?
Well, my opinion would be that a person who kills somebody ought to have the maximum sentence, which at this stage is life imprisonment.
OK, so let's just say this man's killed his wife, one murder, that's all he's done. And
Is that all? Murder? It's the most serious offence that could be committed. You've ended someone's life.
Well, fair enough, he's ended one person's life.
That is one person. That one person is someone's husband, someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's sister. If you're close to that person and you ever had a situation where you lost someone so close to you, how would you feel about it then?
I'd feel terrible, obviously.
You'd feel awful. And you're saying that person should only get 10 years?
Well, I think 10 years is enough for anyone, yeah.
You tell someone else who's lost a dear one that they shouldn't be put in prison for life. They should only get 10 years. They won't agree with you, I can assure you, Paul.
Well, if he gets life and the Moors murderers get life for what they've done, I mean, the two crimes are completely different. The Moors murderers are far worse.
Yeah, but that's a maximum. The law only permits life at the moment. If there was hanging, then possibly you could say one would get life and one would get hung.